Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another Wuthering Waves 3.0 video. And this time, we're going to be looking at all of the new features that are arriving with the patch. The live stream has concluded, and just give our thoughts on how A, the new information is being displayed, because this is all in game now, and B, well, how do we actually feel about it? So with that out of the way, and without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look at this breakdown and, you know, just give our take. So first things first, they did a fantastic job with whatever the hell is going on over here. If you just click into this, you'll see that every new feature in the patch is essentially laid out in-game with all these different panning things, and it shows you firsthand all of the stuff that's going to be in the update. You got new enemies, you got key new quality of life and features, you got the new events in the gameplay. Fantastic. And I think the fact that they put this in game and they're willing to actually put effort into the UI, because again, this is all stuff they didn't need to do. I consider this almost to be a quality of life in itself, just the way that we view the information in this patch, and they've hit it out of the park with this one. So yeah, first things first, we got the first characters. Or we got the new characters and the new weapons that are arriving. And I gotta say, we have all seen Linné and Mornier by now. The roles that Linné is going to play on the battlefield, I think, is the most surprising thing to me. She seems to be like a blend of both a sub DPS with buffing potential, but then also a main DPS too. And I'll explain why later. But I think they did a great job with this unit. It actually kind of looks like, and maybe I'm tripping, that maybe her VFX have either gotten brightened or just look better on the live stream footage versus the past reveals that we've seen. I just feel like I see more vividness, more colors, and more of what I was expecting. But maybe it's just like not actually anything has changed and I'm just tripping. But I do feel like they've gone in and done some updates to buffer a little bit on the VFX side. Mornier, on the other hand, she's a healer, and what we specifically heard is that she's a healer for the Toon Break archetype. I'm a little bit iffy on that, especially after seeing what happened to Chisa, who is the healer for the negative status archetype, and now that character is toast, the same thing could easily happen to her, right? So I'm a little bit more iffy on what she's supposed to do, just like kind of knowing that her kit does seem to be a little suspect to me in terms of its meta relevance, but it is, you know, it is what it is overall. Excited to see the role that she does in the story, and of course, what her kit actually feels like it's doing. The weapons, this one looks amazing. This one is like in terms of like taste, this one's a 10 out of 10. I love how this thing looks. I love the dynamics of it. Kuro did a great job. This weapon too also looks amazing, but I feel like it's going to be useless. I actually wish I could use this weapon as a skin and not actually use the weapon itself. But yeah, visual design on this one, also peak. Probably the best weapons, low-key the best weapons we've seen in the history of the game. I would give my take for that over here. And next, we're going to have standard weapons, guys. And this is something that I am so excited to see the effects of, because I'm hoping that these are actually good. Because if these are like crit rate, crit damage, like crit weapons, like brother, this could be really, really, really good. And this could be like that saving grace for a lot of like free to play, something along those lines, where, you know, stuff like the broad blades, stuff like the gauntlets and the rectifiers, you really haven't had that many good options. And that does make a lot of character signatures appear a lot stronger than they really are. Where, no, it's not that the character signature is broken. I'm talking about for Lova here. It's that they just don't have any other good free-to-play options. So the signature does look broken in comparison. And I'm hoping that these help fill the gap in this sort of situation. But yeah, just excited to see that they're coming in. And I hope that there's like something that makes players that maybe spent a lot of their standard pulls before this news, I hope that there's like at least like a little bit of something for them so they don't feel like they're getting fucked over. It would be nice if everyone was able to get a free copy of these, like just select and choose right off rip. Like the version launches and you get a weapon box for this. But yeah, just on the, like the character and weapon side, a lot of stuff to look forward to. And this might actually be the most exciting thing for me, this selection up here. Love it. Next, new main quest. I mean, hell, they're just showing us little screens from the game. We know that it's going to be Chapter 3. We're going to have 2 acts. We're going to have one featuring Linné, and then we're going to have one featuring Mornier 2. We're going to see over here, you know, unfortunately, they do spoil that the Void Worm, there's going to be a Void Worm, and there's going to be a Void Worm threat that gets dealt with. But, hey, looks like that sort of dynamic, the environment interacting with like the flora, that's gonna be a big focus. I don't typically like to read these too much because I don't really want any spoilers at all. I don't really want any context. Like, I kind of want to go into it like completely blind, but yeah, I mean, they got a little bit of that in there too, and some cool stills from what it's actually gonna look like in game. And now the new region, guys, they might have outdone themselves. I think this region actually looks better than Renacida. Like, the vibes that I get from here are like every single like game of the year console game that you can ever think of. Like, this is giving me like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's giving me vibes from like every single good game that I've ever played. This to me is like Far Cry 3. Doesn't this remind you of fucking Far Cry 3? With like Voss and all that stuff, right? In like that super bright, like tropical sort of environment. There you go. Then you got this. This could be like Monster Hunter. This could be a lot like Shadow of the Colossus. This could be a bunch of different games, right? Like I don't know, like Jurassic fucking Park. Amazing. And then you got this shit over here, right? I mean, this just looked like we're in like space, bro. This looks like Mass Effect. This could also be like, this is just sci-fi. And then this, oddly enough, like, I don't even know what this, like this one, oddly enough, reminds me of like, this is like iconic. Is it like Tribes or something? Maybe it's, maybe it's not Tribes. I don't know, but it's kind of like that sunset, like, kind of like is it like World of Warcraft? I don't know. But this one feels familiar as well. Then you got the whole academy. And then, of course, just Lehigh Roy as a whole. And this one looks like Hawaii. Yeah, this looks like you're just in Hawaii at the beach for, like, a sunset. The incredible, like, depth and the fact that, like, we're, like, going to space and this is all supposed to be underground. Guys, the fact that this is supposed to be underground, I think, is the thing that's, like, blowing my mind the most. It's so vibrant, and I think it's something that threw a lot of people out of tune, because we all heard that this was in like a snowy wasteland, but it looks like anything except that. And so yeah, that's gonna be the new region. Now we got all the new events, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people might have said, oh, it feels like the events in this patch are gonna be a little bit lacking. Guys, you have an entire new region of exploration. And you guys haven't realized how big this region is going to be, because remember when 2.0 launched? You guys want to know how big the 2.0 map was? The expansions that Renacida got were actually tiny. The 2.0 map was literally this entire fucking thing. Like, these were added on later, the Riccioli Islands, but it was basically this entire thing. It doesn't even fit on the screen. Then this got added in 2.2, right? But that's it. It's right here. It's that entire thing. That was a lot of content, and I think it's so much content that you don't really care if there's, like, not a lot of, like, fluff events just taking up the time that way. But that's just something to keep in mind on the event side. So yeah, that's what I imagine Lehigh Roy Pioneers is supposed to be, just weaving in the exploration, because I imagine there's gonna be a lot of it. Then you got the photo event too, very classic. You don't even have to do these every single patch. Then you got your 10 pull. So yeah, just remember that shit's coming. You've got your whole goddamn 10 pull over here, as well as the 10 crystal solvents. So yeah, enjoy the easy grinding. Racing. And I hope they run this very often. And I hope we get a co-op version if it's not available yet. I mean, what else can I say? It's racing. It's going to be solid. And then they got Peaks of Prestige. PP. Let's abbreviate it as PP. Because they got a club. They got a PP club at Star Torch Academy. And you know what that means. You got to find out who's got the biggest PP of them all by having PP battles in the classroom. It's going to be good. And I'm going to be really excited to see how they're going to spice up the game mode by adding in new mechanics, new features, and perhaps most importantly of all, balancing the game. Because I think one thing that a lot of players might potentially want to see is like a PvP component, but it's fair to say that the game was not very balanced. it was fun, but a little bit unbalanced because you could like one turn kill, like start playing solitaire on some hoes. Once you got like a good setup going and you had like a good hand, right? It was like a little bit more like Yu-Gi-Oh than like Magic the Gathering. And I'm pretty sure more people want Magic than Yu-Gi-Oh in their card games. So yeah, I mean, excited to see. Like, I want to see expansions to it. Maybe, like, you know, some of the professors, the new characters show up with, like, their own days. Like, oh, my father's cards, Yugi. Like, you know, like, stuff like that. And, you know, make it more of, like, a regular thing. Because this is, without a doubt, the best minigame that Kuro Games has made. And I think another part of what frustrated so many people, seeing all these dog shit minigames, like fucking Phantasma Assland. What's it called? Bro, they know these are trash and moved them to the bottom. Wait, did they delete Solaris Soldier? Wait, Solaris Soldier was so bad they deleted it. Wait, it's not available. It's not permanent. I wonder why. Probably because it's the worst out of all the mini games they've ever made. It means it will return. This thing returned, dummy. This thing was a permanent event that returned. Yeah, it's literally right fucking here. You can... Yeah, it's literally right here, bro. You can see it. It returned. Y'all got some weird-ass brains. Where it, like, categorizes shit in ways that doesn't even make sense. You're like, yeah, it's a permanent event, so it can't rerun. Why? My brain thought of it that way. Like, what's your reasoning? I just thought of it that... Like, I don't even get it, guys. Like, where'd that restriction even come from? Like, what's your basis? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'm looking forward to PP Rekindle Duel. Next up, we got another Endgame, ladies and gentlemen. And from the way that they were showing this in the live stream, it literally looked like a boss rush mode. A literal boss rush mode. Where they had a lineup of like 4 or 5 different enemies. You chose a buff to equip, and then you go ahead and you put your team in there. From what I've seen, and from the way it was broken down, it seemed like this was going to be a new permanent endgame mode. And from my perspective, having a new permanent endgame mode where it's a boss rush, you choose a buff that works with your team, and then you put your team in and then just fight all the enemies. That's exactly what a lot of players were looking for. And I don't think that people necessarily wanted a straight port of Deadly Assault, which is just you fighting the same boss for 3 minutes. Over here, you get to fight a set number of them. They die, and you get to see a bunch of different movesets. I hope the bosses get upgrades to their movesets as well. And I think this is going to be the main thing. I'm hoping it's on a somewhat regular reset schedule, and I hope it's a really small endgame mode. And I want to get like the actual screen of it, because I do feel like it's probably going to be the most like exciting thing that a lot of people are going to look for. Like, let me see if I can get the direct screenshot of it. Ah, here we go. Here we go.
全息战略同步将作为常驻玩法开放，在后续版本中也会持续推出新的挑战。
Okay, so they also have a tactical hologram mode that they don't have featured in here as well. I don't know if that's just going to be like their 3.0 version of what they have in 2.0 setup. It's probably mainly what it is. But yeah, one of the holograms they're featuring is Dreamless. But this is the new endgame that I'm talking about over here. Double. Okay. Stability Accords and Singularity Expansion. And this is what I meant by the boss rush. I would say overall, the UI of it looks pretty sick as well. Probably going to be one of the most exciting things of the patch. And like I said, I hope it resets a little bit more regularly as well. Because it doesn't look like it's like as like long or like as big, so that it could have more regular resets. We'll just have to see. Yeah, this is probably one of the things I'm looking the most forward to. And then they're also going to have Frontier Renewal. And this is basically like the Arc Knight's Endfield mode, where you like go around and you start like rebuilding Lahairoi. So, that one looks like it's going to be a little bit interesting, but do keep in mind that this is going to be coinciding with just the exploration of the entire place itself. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a feature-rich patch. And I think these developers know that they're going to make their 2.x, or sorry, their X.0 versions really, really, really dense. And I have no doubt that this one's going to be pretty damn dense too. I don't think we're going to be like missing things to do. And then, right, you're going to have all the new echoes, all the new enemies. And this is the thing. They're not even showing off all of them over here because they did like the whole like walk where they showed off all the stuff. And I gotta say, the new enemy designs and everything like that, they look pretty interesting. I like the look of like the humanoid ones. They're pretty like unique. Like a lot of them look like these sort of like bionic soldiers. It's actually like kind of cool. And then you got all the animals and stuff, right? Very like high-tech sort of vibe. You know, it starts off a little bit more organic, gets more high-tech as it goes on, and then you like end up with like full-on goddamn like Gundams and shit. I would say the Gundams do seem a little bit really, really, really sharp. And I think their animations can get a little bit erratic. And I do feel like it could get a little bit annoying fighting these guys too as time goes on. Because like, gosh, they move around a lot. Like, oh, but that bro is flying fucking everywhere, man. So yeah, I'm just thinking about like fighting some of these guys, and some of these enemies do look really, really, really annoying. Like extremely annoying. So yeah, we'll just hopefully these guys aren't gonna be a complete fucking nightmare. But with that out of the way, they're also gonna have some new Sonata sets. And this is what I meant by we might be able to actually find out what Linnea's roles are. Because I think it's pretty clear. Halo Starry Radiance is going to be for Morning, right? She's going to buff everybody on the team. And based off her off-tune build-up rate, she's going to buff their attack even more. But you have two Spectro sets that both give Spectro damage, but then using an outro skill over here increases the incoming Resonator's attack, so it's a sub DPS set. But then you got another set over here that increases your basic attack damage, or increases your Spectro damage, and then with max stacks, you increase your basic attack damage. There's no character in the game that deals Spectro basic attack damage at all. And there's no Spectro sub DPS in the game other than Phoebe. And Phoebe doesn't do damage. So these are clearly both meant to be for Linnea. I think most people can tell by that. And the fact that she's got two sets is telling me, well, guys, she might actually have two roles to play on the battlefield. And we also know you can select which role Linnea can play. I think they literally showed you like the little menu in-game on the live stream. So yeah, two modes. Makes sense that I guess she's gonna have two different sets. Looks like they're going to be taking character building to the next level. And I'm excited to see where the limit is going to go. And I'm excited to see if that's going to be the new system that they plan on using to, I don't know, potentially buff units. Did they show what the character switching features like looking like? Yeah. She's got two different modes right here, you can see. So I assume this is the main DPS mode and this is the sub DPS mode, because the main DPS mode icon looks like, well, the main DPS icon, or the main DPS Sonata set. So, yeah, I assume that because this one only boosts her personal damage, she's also going to have a personal damage mode, which is the one on the right. So, yeah, there you go. That's one of the bonuses that she's going to have. And I just want to say, I would love to see this on some older units. I would love to see this, like, just be used as the way for a character like, let's just be real here, your Jinsees, your Jians, your Yinlins, your Zhang Liaos, your Jejas, your Rosias. Hey, maybe they gonna be needing that toggle, right? Because you wanna know one thing that hasn't happened? We haven't had old character buffs, which we feel like we should be getting by now. And we also haven't had a single 1.x DPS. Guys, 1.x characters have not rerun since 2.2. 2.2 was Camelia's rerun, and outside of Shorekeeper, we haven't had a 1.x DPS, a 1.x character rerun at all. And so with that context in mind, I think they probably have something planned, and that's why they've actually been like holding all the 1.x units hostage. And I don't feel like they plan on rerunning any of the 1.x characters until they integrate this feature probably into their kits. Or 1.x units only get to run once a year during the anniversary, which seems ridiculous, but maybe that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the limit is going to be for this, and well, how they're gonna integrate it into other kits in the future. Now let's take a look at the quality of life. Guys, we got the motorbike, the drifting, the features, the acceleration boost, all of that. It looks insane, right? It looks incredibly good. And I think the main thing is that driving the bike looks like it's going to be a lot more fun than flying. And I think most people have that exact same thought. Ooh, I get to go like up and down versus I get to like interact with physics and like go on ramps and shit and like do tricks. Bro, this is going to be so much more fun than flying. It's unbelievable. Why do you think games like GTA can still be popular decades after the release? The driving is actually one of the big components of them because driving is just something that doesn't really get old. Now we got off-tune. And I think this is a mechanic over here that's going to be really, really, really interesting. But the thing that I am a little bit concerned about is that 3.x characters have a unique way to interact with off-tune to be able to apply additional effects to it. And I'm just hoping that this was basically like Night Soul if every single Genshin character could use Night Soul. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting, right? And while some of the 3.x units get a bit of an extra bonus on top of the baseline effect, I'm just hoping that the additional bonus that they get doesn't make it feel like, oh, the mechanic is completely dog shit unless you have them. And when you have them, the mechanic is overpowered. I hope that there's a good balance over here. I think it's going to be a good damage boost to every single team because that's just inherently what it seems like. Again, I'm just hoping that if you don't have the tune or what, like, you know, the tune characters, that it doesn't feel like shit. So yeah, this is a method of take what Genshin did and just make it available to everybody and not feel bad. Then we got the text system from ZZZ and Honkai. It is what it is. I think it's a neat way of communicating. I don't really care that much about it. But yeah, it does allow you to have a bit more of that parasocialism with the characters. Have it a bit more front and center. So yeah, if you guys are into this shit, you guys are into this shit. Anyways, the databank is also going to get buffed too with all the new echoes that are getting added to the game. And so it looks like they're also going to optimize the farming even more. So for those that are echo picking, if you're still doing that in the big 2026, there you go. You get a bit of a bonus there. I think that the quality of life is definitely the weakest part of this patch, but I think it's fair to say there's not really a lot of quality of life left to add in. And Kuro's basically gotten to everything. And most of the focus is actually on all the new events, new features, all of that. And I just gotta say, this is shaping up to be one of the best looking updates ever. And I think all of it is really going to be inherently tied to what are we doing in all of these different areas and what is the level of depth that they're going to add to the exploration experience that we've already had. Because the thing is, everything else that we're getting in terms of the new events, gameplay, all of that, it looks great. Story, I'm going to assume, is going to be really good. It's all up to the design of the new region, the actual experience over here, and all the content over here, where I feel like it's going to be like the make or break of how good it actually is. And the thing is, guys, I think it'll be looking pretty damn good. Does a top 2.0 for you? I think it could easily top 2.0. It depends on, though, how the setting is. Because a big part of 2.0 was that opening cutscene, right? Where you got to see, like, the entirety of Rinasida. You got to see, like, the little, like, dragon thing and everything and all of that. If 3.0 simply has, like, similar sort of moments, I think it could easily be a contender or easily be something that exceeds it. I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, that's where I'll put that one for now. And I'll say, overall, I think Kuro hit it out of the park with this one. I think they promised a lot of great things. I think they're riding on some of the most positive PR ever when it comes to, like, winning the Game Awards, Player's Voice, all of that. And the road is literally set for a huge amount of success. Now let's go ahead and somebody mentioned that there's going to be an additional website over here. Let's just go ahead and check this one out for a little bit. All right. Oh, you got the little cassette tape and everything. Oh, okay. All right. You got Linnae. Oh, and they got all the characters. They got like cassette tapes for everybody. Okay, so they got like a little bit of extra lore reveals here too. President Lucia. Ooh. Professor Mornier. Mr. Sigma. Oh, I forgot. Mr. Sigma is also ridiculous. Dr. Luke Herson. Wait, but Mornier is the healer. So is he going to be a doctor that doesn't heal? Well, I mean, she shoots orbital laser cannons and heals. So I guess he can be a doctor and deal damage, right? That's pretty damn neat. I'm gonna be real over here. That's pretty damn neat. Anyways, I'll leave you all to explore this because it looks like a very like interactive sort of thing. So make sure you definitely do check this shit out. I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting like vertigo from this, so I think I'm just gonna skip it for now. It's also like, you can see in the bottom, it's like 6 a.m. for me, so I'll cut it short for now. Make sure you do check this out. You can clearly see there's a lot of work being put into this, and it looks really damn good.